My name is Reverend Anna Flowers, and I'm the pastor of United Church in Walpole, Massachusetts. Last week in worship, we brought forth our sorrow and our lament over the rise of white supremacy, Nazism, and hatred in Charlottesville. And we remembered the call of our baptisms to resist and renounce evil in the world and to fight oppression and injustice. As the cool waters of baptism touched our foreheads, we remembered that God is always with us in the fight of oppression and that love always wins. Today, the call of our baptisms is as clear as the waters with which we are baptized. We are unequivocally called to renounce evil. And yet there are always dark forces seeking to muddy those waters for us, and to make it seem as if standing up against violent racism is somehow a political issue or something that must be balanced with other viewpoints. As your pastor, I urge you not to give in to those temptations. Standing up against violent hatred for the cause of love is not a political issue. Whether you are a Democrat or a Republican shouldn't matter when Nazis are marching in our streets. Tomorrow, those Nazis will be marching in our streets, in the streets of Boston. And I support their constitutional right to do so. But we also have the constitutional right to march and to speak out against the content of their speech. We have the right to meet their hate with love. We have the right to make sure that love wins tomorrow in Boston. I will be joining other United Church of Christ clergy for a worship service at Old South Church in Boston at 8 a.m., where we will be joined by the General Minister and President of the United Church of Christ, Reverend John Dorhauer, who has flown in from Cleveland to stand with us for the sake of love. From there, I will join a march at the Reggie Lewis Center that will make its way to the Boston Common. This will be a nonviolent march, and participants have been encouraged to be trained in nonviolent direct action. Still, facing violent extremists directly can be dangerous. And so I have chosen not to invite you as the congregation to join me in this march. You may choose to join us, but I want you to feel called to do so by your own convictions and by God, and not by pastoral persuasion. There are many ways that you can still follow the call of your baptisms and fight evil and oppression. First, I ask you to pray. We cannot do any of this without the strength and love of God. Pray for the peaceful marchers and pray for the violent extremists. Pray that their hearts may be turned away from this darkness. Second, you can speak out. Talk to your friends and family about issues of racism and oppression. When you hear someone say something that you know is wrong, speak to them about it. It's the most loving thing you can do. Evil grows in the shadows. Be a ray of light. And finally, for those who are called to direct action, you can join a local demonstration here in Walpole, led by the Walpole Peace and Justice Group, from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. on the Walpole Town Common. Or you may choose to follow your heart and your call into Boston for the 8 a.m. worship and march that follows. If you do join us in Boston, I urge you to be careful and to be safe. Do not come alone, but come with a buddy. If you need any further information on how to stay safe, please contact me. But again, I'm not inviting you to come to Boston. There are many roles that we can play in the fight against injustice and evil, and all of them are important. In closing, I can find no better words to offer than the words of the Apostle John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome it. Be the light. Be the light, my friends, and shine brightly. Amen.